calling for all parties to cease hostilities and to take a step back, open the Strait of Hormuz, and find a way for a lasting peace. This between U.S., Israel, and Iran. We now are in this limbo situation where we don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know when the next encounter is going to be. Is the ceasefire on? Is it not on? Is Israel included? Is Hezbollah included? It's a very difficult situation. We called for the expedited ratification of the ASEAN Framework Agreement on Petroleum Security, or APSA, which ensures mutual support amongst member states during supply shortages. Did we talk about the supply of fuel, sharing the supply of fuel, or having a mechanism by which we share it? Secondly, having a reservoir that will be shared as well by ASEAN. We also talked about the ASEAN Common Grid, which is an idea that we have been developing for several years now, and that is to connect up power grids. I just had a meeting with Lao PDR, and they are already producing electricity that they export. And we talked about hydropower, wind power, solar power, and even nuclear power was one of the solutions that's being spoken about.
Ongoing energy crisis challenges as of now. So
the war started in February 28. February, by the next day, this government, at least, was already in contact with all our suppliers, and beyond that, we were also looking for other suppliers, what we can refer to as non-traditional suppliers. We talked about food. So to increase the emergency rice reserve that we share with one another when there is a crisis, and enlarge that. I think, again, this is one of the issues that nobody disagreed on. He said we needed it last month. Forget about next month, 6 months, a year from now. We needed it yesterday, if not sooner, sort of thing.
The Philippines, as chair, can play in bridging the divide. These different much worse for the
our
region.
energy ministers haven't yet met. So it's impossible to say they haven't met. Therefore, they haven't laid out a timetable. But rest assured, the minute we have it, we will inform you. We cannot say that there are obvious solutions, but there has been a nano shift, perhaps, in the approach to the situation in Myanmar. But in Myanmar, I wouldn't even go so far as to call it a shift. I think it is more a recognition that we have to find other ways or something to move the thing forward. There is no need to further recognize Myanmar. The government of Myanmar has been recognized, and that's why Myanmar is a member state. Many of the members air their frustration about the lack of progress in the process of normalizing the situation in Myanmar, and trying to find a way forward. That she be freed and that she be allowed to exercise her rights, and that if she is recognized as a leader, that she be able to function as a leader. That hasn't changed one iota.
Quickly affect the supply chains and the financial market and the people's.
As the situation in the South China Sea becomes more, shall we say, unreadable, this becomes more important, that there will be a central repository for maritime issues and maritime policy. The Maritime Center is going to be structured so that we are able to do the things that we hope for it to do, which is maintain safety in the South China Sea, maintain the freedom of navigation in South China Sea from the finalization of a COC, a code of conduct. We cannot institutionalize any of those things until the code of conduct is finalized. The code of conduct between ASEAN and the People's Republic. The ASEAN member states are all different, have a different approach when it comes to the People's Republic, when it comes to Beijing. So that we have to incorporate all of that into one single document, which is the Code of Conduct. Leaders adopted the Bimpiaga Vision 2035, setting a 10-year agenda across connectivity, food, energy security, digital transformation, and sustainable development.
Ketegangan meledak di Yerusalem saat bentrokan pecah antara demonstran dan aparat Israel. Aksi protes besar menolak wajib militer bagi komunitas Haredi berubah ricuh ketika polisi menurunkan water cannon dan mendorong massa yang memadati pusat kota. Suara nyanyian, teriakan, hingga aksi duduk di jalanan menjadi simbol perlawanan terhadap kebijakan yang dianggap mengancam tradisi lama mereka. Selama puluhan tahun, komunitas Haredi memang mendapat pengecualian dari wajib militer. Namun kini, tekanan politik untuk memasukkan mereka ke dalam Israel Defense Force semakin kuat, memicu konflik sosial yang kian dalam. Di tengah perdebatan soal keadilan dan identitas, satu pertanyaan besar muncul. Apakah kebijakan ini akan menyatukan Israel, atau justru memperlebar jurang perpecahan?
Ketegangan di Timur Tengah juga menyebabkan terjadinya krisis obat-obatan di Iran, seperti obat-obat bagi pasien penyakit kronis atau langka.
Serangan Amerika Serikat Israel yang bertubi-tubi hingga menghantam fasilitas kesehatan menuai kecaman dari para ahli medis seluruh Iran. Serangan terhadap gudang obat-obatan di Hamadan turut memperparah kondisi. Akibatnya, pasien kronis dengan kebutuhan medis khusus seperti talasemia, hemofilia mengalami kekurangan obat, khususnya di wilayah Madan dan Kermansyah. Tidak hanya itu, tekanan akibat konflik juga meningkatkan kebutuhan transfusi darah.
مرکز انبار دارویی رو در همدان مورد اصابت داشتیم که داروهای بیماران MS و بیماران خاص اونجا در واقع مورد اصابت قرار گرفته بود. یک کمبودی رو در یک مقطع زمانی کوتاه داشتیم تو همدان و کرمانشاه و الحمدلله به موقع این با در واقع پیگیری که شد مرتفع شد و بقیه استان‌ها این مشکلات
دست میداد. بچه‌های ما بیش از 60% بیماران تالاسمی در ایران به خاطر تزریق مکرر خون ناچار به تحال برداری شدند.
Sejak 2018, Amerika Serikat memberlakukan sanksi terhadap Iran yang menyasar sektor perbankan, pelayaran, dan program nuklir. Washington menyebut langkah ini untuk menekan Iran untuk menghentikan pengembangan senjata nuklir. Sementara itu, Iran melaporkan 240 serangan terhadap fasilitas kesehatan selama konflik berlangsung, termasuk puluhan rumah sakit dan unit gawat darurat. Namun, Amerika Serikat dan Israel membantah menargetkan fasilitas sipil.
Bisa warga Iran mulai bergeliat terlihat dari pasar-pasar tradisional setempat yang mulai ramai. Aktivitas warga sudah mulai terlihat normal seiring berlanjutnya gencatan senjata dengan AS Israel dengan Iran.
Hari Minggu waktu setempat, pasar Tahris terpantau ramai dan orang-orang mulai beraktivitas seperti biasa. Warga menyatakan bahwa mereka mendukung pasukan Iran dan tetap berada di tengah kota sebagai rasa tanggung jawab sebagai warga negara normal.
موندن ما تو تهران باعث شد که ما این رو ثابت کنیم که جون ما پیش جون رهبرمون هیچ ارزشی نداره و موندیم و دفاع کردیم از خاکمون، از شهر بزرگی که همه فکر می‌کردن باید ترکش کنن. همین خیلی عادی داشتیم زندگی می‌کردیم. تازه خیلی به نظر من همه مبعوث شده بودن، همه مثل هم شده بودن، همه در کنار هم بودن.
Masyarakat Iran tetap menjalankan aktivitasnya seperti biasa sambil mempersiapkan diri atas segala ancaman. Sebab rakyat Iran sudah tak lagi percaya akan berbagai perundingan.
Kalau aktivitas masyarakat Iran hari-hari ini macam biasa, alhamdulillah tidak ada begitu perubahan. Karena masyarakat Iran itu mereka sudah siapkan diri mereka untuk memperpanjang perjuangan mereka. Dengan jujur saya harus bilang bahwa kalau masyarakat Iran itu dan warga Iran itu tidak begitu percaya atau harap dan juga bahkan tidak sepakat untuk dijalankan negosiasi atau macam perundingan.
Sebelumnya pada tanggal 8 April, Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump mengumumkan gencatan senjata selama 2 pekan dengan Iran. Gencatan senjata ini diperuntukkan kemungkinan negosiasi yang bertujuan mencapai kesepakatan mengakhiri krisis.